even though this is LinkedIn, some of this will totally, it'll apply to Instagram or whatever platform you're using. Uh-huh. My pity audience is getting bigger. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. All right. Hi, I'm Kathie, but you guys know that. This is how to conquer LinkedIn. All right, so first question, get asked all the time is why LinkedIn? One is you're adding value to your professional relationships and you're expanding in concentric circles your network because your connections get notified when you do things. So their connections get to see what you do too. There's LinkedIn Pulse. I think they've kind of de-emphasized this lately, but you could actually get spotlighted by LinkedIn itself. And the potential reward far exceeds the effort. This takes 5, 10, 15 minutes a day. And it positions you as an authority on your topic, or if you're a performer, as somebody that they need to cast. This is what I hear a lot. Like people make excuses about it. Either it's, I don't have time. My posts never get any traction. Like I tried that once, right? And it didn't work. I think the big one is either who am I? No one wants to know what, I have to say about things, or they just don't have any place to start. So just to address that, it's all probably a lie. And usually it's a lack of a plan, or you're a little bit afraid of it to put yourself out there. So some strategies I found that help is to time block your calendar, right? So every morning, 8 to 8:15 or whatever your time frame is, or maybe over lunch, like noon to 12:15, like I'm going to take that time and deal with social. I've got step-by-steps for you, so you could follow that. I like to give myself a little reward sometimes. That might be chocolate, that might be bourbon, whatever floats your boat. Another strategy is to try not to break the chain or the train. People call it either way, but basically like every day give yourself a little checkbox, right? And you don't want to break that string of, oh, I've got 10 in a row, right? I don't want to miss today. Shift your mindset about it. It's not like a chore. It's something very good. It's helping to advertise you and your business. Another one I like is habit jacking. So take something that you really, really enjoy. Like for Dave and I, that is definitely coffee. So when I have my coffee, that's my social media time. So couple that up with something that you really like doing. As far as posts not getting any traction, it is nearly 100% lack of consistency. Okay. So if you post, even if it's twice a week, just be very, very consistent about it. The algorithms like it, the audience likes it. For instance, I have this really great YouTuber I follow, and I know that 11 o'clock on Sunday is when she puts that video out. And if she doesn't put it out at 11, I'm bummed out. Like my whole day is totally off. And believe it or not, people will get to that point with your content. And then the other thing is people just try to sell, right? They're like, they take their company post and they reshare it and they don't add anything to it. And I'm like, do you like reading that stuff? Probably not. So this is one I really hate because I hear this all the time, and I thought it myself. I'm at about 5,000 followers right now. So I'm like, I in and out of it, but it was always like, I'm a nobody, like, I didn't graduate top of my class at Harvard, or, I'm not the CMO of a Fortune 500 company, but everybody in this room has valuable info. Like, don't care who you are, what your specialty is, like, you've got something people want to hear about. The other thing is, now we've got AI tools. Like, please don't go to ChatGPT and say like, write me a 25-word post on blah, right? Like that's not adding value. So part of this is you being able to withdraw from the relationship bank. So you've got to put deposits in, and that's adding value to your network. So I don't know where to start. So here's my little step-by-step guide. And I am not going to play the step-by-step song that I did have in this, I don't think. All right, we'll see. I don't know if it's going to work on here. I know. All right, I'll try. If it comes up, I'm going to do it. I know. Okay, so if you have paper, grab that. If you're a laptop person, grab that because this is going to be an interactive session. So what we're going to do, we're going to decide on the topics and our cadence. We're going to create a posting plan, and y'all are going to stick to it. We're going to gamify it to make it a little bit more fun, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the rules of the road. Oh, it may happen. No, no, I took it from Google Slides, so it didn't come over. What a bummer. Step by step, could be there. Okay, let's get out our pen and paper or our laptop. Okay, first thing I want you to do is write down 2 to 4 things that your audience is interested in. So if you're a DevOps person, maybe you want to talk about like containers and Kubernetes or CI/CD pipeline. It may be that you're at a certain type of business and people want that kind of content. So give me a second here. Da, da, da. Yes. Ooh, that's a good question. Do you have an established audience right now? Arguable. Okay, so let's pretend you're starting from scratch. Then I would go with what you want them to be. So, if your audience is developers, or maybe you're in sales and you want it to be CTOs, CIOs, then I would write the content that way. All right, how's everybody doing on their 2 to 4? Getting there? Good, 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 good. All right, next thing I want you to do is write down 1 to 2 things you're passionate about. They don't have to do with work even. Ideally on LinkedIn, it would be sort of a work topic. Some examples there might be, maybe you're passionate about return to office and remote work. Or I have a feeling Margaret is in the same boat, but I have kind of an obsession with project management tools. So like that would be a thing I could talk about. Maybe you're into rescuing cats and dogs, like something to more, this is to round out your post and make you look a little bit more human and relatable. So, all right, thumbs up if are you through your 2 to 4 and your 1 to 2? You do not look like you are. Okay. Okay, excellent. Okay, next, was that a, oh, sorry. It was okay. All right, and then write down how many days it is reasonable for you to post. So again, if you're combining it with another habit, like in my case, like I said, it's coffee. Like I wake up, that's the first thing I do, and then usually about noon I have a cup of coffee. So those are kind of my social media times. So if you're coupling it with, I don't know, maybe you're super into the gym or something, not something I personally understand, but maybe on your gym days, is social media, right? So I would say for LinkedIn, you probably want this to be a minimum of 2. All right, we good? You guys are all so quiet. Okay, that's not a bad thing. Okay, now we're going to draw a little grid. So you can make this 4 rows, 5 rows. I usually like doing 5 for the extra week, No ChatGPT. Everyone gets 3 ChatGPTs a day, and that's it. You're cut off. Okay, so I want you to take this little grid, and remember we came up with 2 to 4 items for work and 1 to 2 passion things. So I want you to sort of plot them out along the days of the week, and kind of think about what makes sense, right? If you say you work in staffing, right? You're a recruiter, you probably want your posts on Friday, Sunday, right? By Sunday, people are like, I don't want to go back to work tomorrow. I'm looking for a job. If you don't have a situation like that, I usually put my passion stuff on Friday, just a little bit more fun. So your work things, I would post about every week. If you've got 4, In this case, I just sort of bounced them around, right? So you're hitting all the topics. So you can see we've got, I took the number 1, number 3, number 2, number 4. But if you just have 2 items, you could just maybe go 1 and 2, 2 and 1. Yes. You like the schedule stuff? It's the way to do it. Yeah, some people like to batch it, right? Like if it's not your gig, but you know you need to do it. Yeah, 100%. And by the way, LinkedIn now has a built-in scheduling thing. I think everybody has it. So when you go to post, there's a little clock in the bottom, and you could actually do this on a Sunday. Do it for 2 weeks, like you're good to go. Yeah. For tomorrow, yeah. There's some good tools though. It's harder and harder to find free ones, but there are some good social media management tools. And you're using HubSpot, right? Run it out of HubSpot. Oh, yeah. Well, for now, you could do it right in there. Just even your personal account, you could hook up and then just schedule it from in there. Yes. Yes, most of your social media, including HubSpot, you could tell it to post to both at the same time, but you run into the limitations, right? Like the images are different and the word count. But I think Hootsuite still has a free plan, so that's a good option. All right, now we're going to gamify it. So the most valuable thing that you could do is to post your own content, like with your own stories, right? That's a number 1. So you could give us different point system, whatever you feel like, but in this case, we'll do 50 points, right? So next thing you could do is share an article from someone else and add your own commentary. This is a big mistake I see. Like people will share their company stuff and then just hit post. Like you're really not doing anyone any favor. So just add a line or two, like, this was the coolest conference I've ever been to, and Margaret is the best person ever. You know, just a couple of lines. So it is. So we're going to give that 20 points. The next level down would be leaving like really substantive comments on your target audience's post. So that's not like, hey, great post, good luck, congrats on the new job. These are not substantive. Like, give it a little bit more. Oh, I was like, okay, I'm sorry. It's like, I probably need more coffee. Okay, so we're gonna go 10 points for sharing something without commentary. I mean, every now and again, right, there's just nothing to add. Like today we put out a press release, I shared it and went, right? 10 points for thoughtfully reply, easy for me to say, replying to comments. So if you're gonna do this and you're gonna get that effect of like, you're posting something and then your connections like it or comment on it, and now their connections are seeing it, it's a wasted opportunity if you don't respond to everyone. So if someone takes the time to make a comment, definitely respond, either even just a thank you or a like or just something to acknowledge that. 5 points for just liking something, 5 points for liking comments on your own posts, again, because that's not as, you're not putting as much in the relationship bank as actually acknowledging it. And then 5 points for just liking random stuff. So your goals here, this guy, because I can't see it. So beast mode, if you get 100 points. So as you can see, you could do that by doing 2 original posts or by leaving a bunch of comments. But agree to 75 points, good is 50, and then keep pushing this 25. That's a needs improvement. So I do want to give credit. This is not my idea. Erin Saris and one of my marketing groups came up with this awesome idea. All right, so some guidance. I'm a different person when I post. Like I just kind of step into an acting role, right? And like, I know what I'm talking about and I'm big and brave and I post something, I hit hit the post button and then I kind of go, oh God, what did I do? But sometimes that's helpful just to like put on kind of a persona. Um, if you're a servant and not a seller, you're going to be very successful with this. So just think, is it something you'd want to read? Be authentic. Like, so do step into a role if it helps. But don't be one of these people that, like, do you guys know what broetry is? So broetry is those posts that you see on LinkedIn where people are like, she said no to the job offer, period. Next line. And they're just like single sentences like this long. Like, don't do that. Build a content library. Like I said, use Hootsuite. That'll help you get ahead on things. The other one is just don't be an asshole. And that's that person who's taking from the relationship bank instead of putting in. It's fine to ask your audience for things, but I would go 10 posts, 7 posts, like put enough in that they feel invested in you. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this for Dave. Like he's giving me so much valuable stuff, right? Do not pitch slap, please. Everybody know what it is? Yeah. So pitch slap is when, you know, somebody likes or follows you, they send you a connection request and you're like, I don't know, you take it. And then 5 seconds later, it's, boy, have you thought about, you know, we could drive leads to your website and blah, 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 blah. So don't do that. Mixing up your content is good. So the algorithm likes you bouncing around a little bit. So maybe post a video and then, you know, just a couple of text things and then do a graphic. And using a minimum of 3 to 5 hashtags work. Don't do any more than that, then that looks super spammy. All right, and then extra credit. I think these decks are going out, right, Margaret? So that link will be live. It is an amazing guide. It's like 50 pages. Tool-wise, if you're not familiar with Canva, it's maybe the best software next to OneNote ever created. And like I said, look at some social media tools and turn on creator mode. So you'll see that as an option in your profile, and that gives you some additional functionality, including things like being able to live stream and trying to think what else. The scheduling might be connected to creator mode. I can't remember, but there's definitely some advantages to doing that. And that concludes my talk on how to conquer LinkedIn. Thank you guys.
I just want to amplify.
That's fine. Do you guys keep a leaderboard of your crew? I think that helps. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it honestly, as a marketer, I like, I'm happy when people share things, but I really wish they'd just take a moment and just add a line or two. It doesn't take much. And it adds, because then what happens is something goes out for marketing, people share this, and then if you have similar audiences, people are annoyed by it because now their whole feed is this same stupid post. So yeah. All right. Anybody have any questions or additional thoughts, things that are working for you? You could do 2 things. So you can actually put that long form content on LinkedIn. The upside of that is kind of the viral nature, you know, it could catch on. Downside is that's not doing anything for your SEO. So I personally think that where things are going, I think blogs will still be valuable, but I think generative AI said it. is going to change things. Because now, like, why would anyone read that when they could just go to Chat GPT and generate it themselves if they were like, everything I ever wanted to know about blah. So I think video, strong opinions, and interactive are really the thing. So I would honestly like a blog is good because it'll drive SEO value, but I think having a YouTube channel is even better. And then if you want to talk later, there are a lot of ways to repurpose that content. So you can do the video first, you get the transcript, and then you take that transcript, break it out into like 10 different social posts, and then you can clean it up and make a blog out of it. So I'm huge about like making the effort once and then reusing it. Yeah. They claim they don't. And we, yeah, they claim they don't, but they do prioritize video. And I would say the other thing, so YouTube is all, well, let me backtrack. YouTube is the second biggest search engine. People don't think of it that way. Anyone under 50, if it's how to, they're going to YouTube. Secondly, it's got its own SEO. So throwing video up there isn't enough. Like you need to really think about the headline, think about the description and the keywords and get all that too. Yes. Goes in cycles. Yeah, so every once in a while, like I think it's starting to fade, but for a while there, putting the link in the first comment. So putting your post out there and then commenting on your own post with the link was working. My opinion is provide a good customer experience and people will go, right? Like if the algorithm deprioritizes that, there's nothing I could do about it, but I don't want to make people look for the stupid link. Like just make it easy for them. That's my opinion. Howdy. Anything else? Thank you, everybody.